We're going to start to talk through some different variations for the lat pull down, okay? Now this will be most specifically focusing on starting with a straight bar, where Luke is now, and then we're going to start to mix up with a few different grip variations that we potentially would be able to improve the profile with. A couple of cues here for Luke initially. We're going to think about the spine staying in extension, so that thoracic spine, upper part of the spine staying in extension, abs stay tight, torso's locked. Luke's going to think about drawing the scapula down first into depression, and then he's going to pull down with the elbows, driving in towards the base of the spine. Shoulders staying in extension at that point. And as he pulls down, we're trying to minimize the amount of internal rotation of which would lengthen the lat and keeping this torso nice and locked here, okay? You often see people breaking down the depression and then pull into two stages. We can use that as a regression to learn the movement, but then we want to blend them both into one smooth movement when we finally completed the kind of foundational phase of that program, okay? Now, with the straight bar, the limitation we have here is potentially the limitation through the shoulder if we have limited degree of shoulder flexion, but also the limitation on the wrist being in a fixed place. Now we can change that by simply manipulating the bar that you'll all have in your gym. Let's just change the bar, Luke. Now it wouldn't necessarily have to be this specific bar, but any bar that you can attach two individual D handles to, ideally on canvas so they can move freely. Now what we do with the profile of the exercise, Luke's ability to keep the elbows and the humerus in a more reductive position, the pull through the movement is a lot more effective for the lat, okay? So we can get that lat shorter here now. And we also minimize the amount of joint tension and joint stress through the wrists because the wrists are not now stuck in a fixed position. They're able to move freely and we can manipulate that grip however we want to. One thing that does commonly come up, if you do feel as though you're finding the challenge on the grip too excessive, the challenge here is ultimately based for the lat. So don't be afraid to use grip support if you need to in that scenario when loading gets heavier.